Great.
Nice.
Amazing. How are you, Eric?
I'm amazing.
That's
Really
so
good.
great to hear.
Yeah, a lot of momentum. I was in Amsterdam. I just got back a couple days ago, and then now I have my partner from
Um,
Amsterdam flying in from here, or coming in and flying in today. So it's nice to just keep going back and forth.
yeah, exciting. Exciting. So it was a business thing or?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, my everything that I do is really focused around conscious business and business development, but uh more mission and stuff. And Tony says business is a spiritual game, right? So
Yes.
this is my nature. Yeah, it was great. And then the Bitcoin conference got to meet a lot of other like-minded individuals, really focused around the fiduciary responsibility of the economic paradigm and what we're doing here to cultivate that, not only in Europe and Canada, all over the world. So yeah. How are
Nice.
you?
So
How
what
was your talk?
which talk?
I thought you spoke at an event just a few days ago.
N no. I think the last ones were, I think they were last month. Like I had the Global Woman Club thing, and then I had deep conversations with Martin as well. Yeah.
Okay, amazing.
But yeah, they went really amazing. Yeah, really great. Mirella Sula asked me, we spoke about me being director for the Amsterdam Club. And Martin and Darren had invited me for next year as well, the beginning of next year, to come again as a special guest. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Rain, I think it would be nice for you to share a little bit more about yourself. So these lovely ladies, like I know you and Tennessee already know each other, but Mo,
Mhm.
who is from I met at the Bitcoin conference, but also lives in Amsterdam. It would be nice for you to maybe express yourself, share a little bit about yourself, so you both meet in harmony. What do you think?
Yeah.
I am literally flying today between calls. So I
Mhm.
have 7 minutes that I can remain here and then I'm flying off
Oh,
to a board meeting. So
great. So
so go ahead.
yeah, great.
Yeah. Oh, we can also like arrange like a meeting or something because you said Eric said you were from Amsterdam, right?
I live in Bodegraven. It's in the middle of the Netherlands.
Ah, okay. I'm from Hoofddorp, so I thought maybe we can also just meet up.
You're close. You're close. But I'm not really someone to like we had dinner last night, which was super
Mhm.
fun, but I like to just move my body and be active. So I forget her name. Bianca last night loves dancing and I like dancing too. So if you want to go dancing, we can do that. I'm totally down for that. I'm not
Okay.
like I don't like sitting in restaurants. I like food, but I like other things too. So
I love
Okay.
it.
if you want to go dancing, we can go dancing. I'm down
Uh,
for dancing.
I'm not necessarily a dancer,
You
Okay.
should
but
try it,
I'm
Rain. It's really
definitely open
profound.
to it.
Free
Yeah,
your
you
Rain.
should
body.
really try it.
Free
Well,
yourself.
Rain,
Just
when I
free.
was there, Rain took me to her favorite crystal shop. So that was a really great experience because I love crystal shops too. And for some
Right.
reason, every time I go to Netherlands, I end up in a crystal shop. So, and after we had the most amazing, sushi and stuff like that, but in Haarlem, and it was so beautiful to even just walk around the town because it's so, so beautiful there. So,
Yeah.
Mm.
so that's what she did. We said eventually to eat because we hadn't eaten anything the whole day, but
That's
we did go
great.
around walking in Harlem and then we saw the crystal shop and then it was just beautiful. So that was our way of being moving as well. So
Yeah. Where are you based, Tennessee?
Frankfurt.
Okay, all right. But Rain, I'm down for dancing. So if you want to go dancing, just send me a message. We can have the meeting while we're dancing. Yeah?
What? Sorry.
We can meet each other while we dance. I'll totally get to know you by dancing with you.
What kind of dance?
I'm more into ecstatic dance, just anything barefoot. I don't go
Okay.
to parties where there's like drugs and alcohol. I just like to be on the earth. Preferably on the beach, but it's too cold in the Netherlands right now. So
Yeah.
Rain, do you mind sharing a little bit about yourself? Because I think it'd
Oh,
be
yeah.
valuable to just get some insight based off of your wisdom and your grace in the way that you speak and hold yourself.
Oh, thank you, Eric. Yeah, so my name is Rain, and I'm a soul and life alignment mentoring coach and trainer. So I specialize in emotional intelligence, the feminine, masculine energy, self-love mastery, healing your inner child, subconscious reprogramming, and retraining the brain. I have a love for quantum physics. I love learning. I'm like a forever student. I love learning a lot. Yeah, so in my free time, I'll be like diving into, I don't know, your nervous system and how to create the brain and heart coherence. Like I was such a nerd. But I'd like to say I'm the beauty and the nerd and proud of it. Yeah, I feel like, you should always be a forever student. And yeah, I love anything in personal development, whether it's passive income streams, residual income streams, investing, just growing. I thrive of people's energy. I love learning about people. I love
You
to
and Mo
listen.
are gonna crush it. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think that you and Mo, when you guys spend time together, the reflection in the mirror, and then if you go dancing with Bianca as well,
uh-huh.
uh, your just somatic system will really expand and evolve in a really beautiful way because you have so much emotional and cognitive intelligence. The physical presence of being around these lovely ladies
Yeah.
will also allow such of your like divinity and your expression and your just grace to come out with such kindness and compassion. I really encourage this state. I really encourage you to all meet. I think it's
Yeah.
gonna be beautiful, and then you guys can go to a crystal shop and then go for sushi. You know,
Okay.
like
Okay. So quick story. So we were sitting at this Indian restaurant. The food was amazing. And we were eating. We were looking into each other's eyes. We were vibing. We were sending each other love. We were crying. We were happy, all the things. And we were vibrating at such a frequency by being together in each other's energy that sort of towards the end of the night, we're trying to pay and leave. And then there's these two guys sitting at the table next to us. They tried so hard to initiate a conversation with us because we were literally glowing. And I made a joke and I said to Bianca, I was like, Bianca, we should not go out together because we're just shining so bright together that we become so attractive. It's just like bees to honey. So this was our experience last night. Like we walked out of the restaurant last night, we were just like, we own the world. Like, just this is us. Like, we own this. So we were just totally vibing yesterday. It was absolutely amazing.
Yes,
So
and
yeah,
Bianca is also from the Tony Robbins environment, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lady.
wow.
Yeah.
She's in the Lighthouse group, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So I'm gonna hop to my
I
next
joined the
call.
club,
It was
by the
really
way.
amazing meeting you. And if you're
I'll
down to
connect you.
vibe, yeah.
Yeah, I'll connect you.
Yeah,
Thank you
Mo,
so
let us
much.
know when there's ecstatic dance there.
Sorry?
Let us know when there's ecstatic dance because I've been
Oh,
trying
it's
to find
every week.
Germany.
It's every
Just
week. And if it's happening, then I'm going. So yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Hugs.
Mo. Nice meeting you.
Ciao.
Bye.
Rain, I joined the club, by the
The
way,
club?
the women's club.
Wow. So amazing.
I had the
So
call
amazing.
had a call with Emma today,
Mhm.
and she was just making some suggestions for me, and then her starting the social media campaign, whatever challenge with Mirella. So yeah, it's
Okay. So
happening.
do you pay in installments or something? Because you said, it was difficult for you to join.
Yeah. So Mirella has been quite generous. Let's put it that way. And
Sorry?
sorting out. Mirella has sorted out something for me. She's been quite generous. So yeah, so that made it possible for me to
Oh,
join.
wow. So amazing. Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to
Thank you
catch
for
up
taking
and
me
talk
there.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was giving you space because you told me you're taking a break from social
Yeah, I
media
am.
like
I
that.
I still am taking a break. So the thing is, I'm kind of in dubio because on one hand, like I use my phone and my laptop so much for work and things, and I know I need to get stuff done, which is the external pressure. And the other side is telling me, like, I have a Nokia, but it's even telling me just leave everything aside and just like ground, reconnect, go into Mother Nature, go like more introspective. And usually, like September, October, like I send a message in the group as well, like that is when my year starts. It's where I go within a lot, where I'm just hermit mode and I just shut things off. But because some important things are running, I kind of feel like this obligation, which is very external. Like a lot of things are coming my way, but at the same time, like why now? Like it's like, so I'm kind of like torn. So
I know.
yeah.
I know. I know what you're going through and the two sides of things that you're deciding. And yeah, I can imagine that the best thing is to go in and listen to yourself.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I feel like whatever you choose is gonna be the right thing. So
Yeah, it's
yeah.
like now the renovations when you were coming here, and I was like, if we're done with the renovations, you can stay here, but otherwise, like it's still going on. Like
It's
things are
Tuesday
dragging.
there.
Yeah, so it's still going on, the renovations. We're renovating, Eric, the attic. So we're renovating, and it's just so much. And I feel like when that's kind of done and secure some more passive income streams and notch it up a little, then I just want to leave for a month or two and then, see, and then build up the passive income stream in Belgium, create a portfolio there. Hi, Jacob and
Gina.
Gina.
other person, Tina.
Hi,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm great, thank you. Is that an apple?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm asking because like before I hopped onto Zoom, I was like I was gonna go onto TikTok and search for apple hot apple except for applesauce and like apple with like a little bit of dough like, and in the oven I wanted to see like if there were other recipes that were like hot. Seeing it's autumn here.
Mm-hmm.
What is it in Canada, Eric? Is it autumn also or?
Yeah, the leaves are falling. I was just raking the
Okay.
leaves yesterday for my parents. It was amazing.
Oh, that's so nice of you. Do
Yeah, of course.
you,
I do
do you,
everything for my
do you
parents.
guys live close by?
No, I live with them.
Oh, nice.
So I'm barely ever home. So I'm either flying around the world or I'm here on like doing stuff. So uh
Okay.
I yeah, I spend as much time as I possibly can with my parents, my family.
Mm. Is it
Because
because of specific reason? Like, are they really elderly? Do they need a lot of care?
no, because I love them and I appreciate them. And I was gone for 5 years away from here. Um and really I don't really have uh a reason to like not be around them. I have
Mm.
such a great relationship with them. I love them wholeheartedly. We take care of each other. We look after each other. We support each other. So why, if I don't have a wife or I'm not seeing somebody, there's no reason for me to leave, right? Like I was gone for 5 years, traveling the whole world, and the only people that supported my whole discovery in this planet, by the way,
Hmm.
were my parents.
That's
Most
beautiful.
people, most people told me that I couldn't, I shouldn't, I wouldn't. Um, like disempowered every experience of the walk that I was on. And the only people that continued to do that and continue to do that to this day, and now of course there's more coming, but initially it was always my mother and father. And so they are the perfect reflection to my inner being, and they're also the perfect reflection of what I would call the divine mother and divine father in human form. So to be able to experience them every single day, to be able to recognize their grace, to be able to support them, serve them, be around them, just being in the presence of them doesn't even need to be, we don't even need to say anything, and, they know I'm a very, intellect, and I'm always thinking, and I'm always creating, and I'm always making things happen, or reading or things like this. They're really in support of everything that I do because they've seen me build a world around me versus allowing the world outside of me to. They've literally watched me build the world around me the way that I want it to be.
Yeah, of
Not
course.
allowing the external world to influence my behavior, but rather me influencing the world. So,
Wow, I'd love to know more about that. I actually think it's really interesting because I feel like the world, I think that's more of a, sorry, when even this, my daughter just came home. I think that's more like, I think in the Dutch culture you call it like a G and a F culture, and I think it's like more of the F culture, like to put it very blatantly, like the more non-white culture, it's like very togetherness, and you still live at home. There's like no reason to really leave. Like you still stay with, even if you had a wife, like you still have like, you still live close by or in their house. Like my
well, this
grandmother,
is, sorry, go ahead. My
it's,
apologies. I
yeah,
didn't
my
mean to interrupt.
grandmother, she had like an operation, and I was like, if I had a husband and our garden was like big enough, I would ask him like to build a guest house. Like she could also live with us inside the house, but I know like some family members and I don't get along as well. So, build her a guest house in our backyard and like have that freedom. So, I want her close. Like, I want her like in my home, but my bedrooms are upstairs and my bathroom is upstairs. That's never going to work. Um, and her kids, I was partially raised by my grandmother, and her kids live elsewhere and they want her close. Um, but I'd love, my grandmother to just stay with me. I see her more as my mom, so I totally understand. Like, I would love to know more about you and like the relationship with your parents and how that's come about, because I know the world encourages you to leave the nest and like build your own things and stuff as if you can't do that together. So I'd love to know like your experience, your thoughts, your inner world, your feelings and stuff around that. I think it's really, really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is how I see basically my growth has always been about how can we do things together. And this is also why I created the Lighthouse. This is also why I've cultivated and built and engineered the conscious economic ecosystem. And this is also why I'm curating and moving around the world with such uh, purpose, because I see everything as a family, and I see everything as a community. I see everything as like taking care of each other. In times of struggle, my parents had always had the faith and the commitment to believe in each other and something greater than themselves that allowed us to break through and catapult through an element of resilience. When I was a drug addict, very young age, it was their faith and their commitment that didn't give up on me and allowed me to discover, what's true within me. So people, when they, are forced to either leave the household or from my perspective, that is based off of a person not recognizing that we are all like a divine gift of something way more infinite. And so from my perspective, we are all a mirror of our great teacher. And what that means to me is if we have an element of source intelligence inside all of us, and we know that we come from one divine essence, then that means that everyone around us is our family. It just, how do we choose to reflect that image back to ourselves in our inner world? And so what that looks like for me is, hey, when I lived in Ibiza, or when I lived in Brazil, or when I lived in Mexico or Dubai, all these places, India, I always wanted to have a community around me. And so I would always have these either big villas or big spaces, and I would create events, or I would invite people to stay if they needed, or I would encourage people to follow their purpose and feel very grounded, because when we feel safe and grounded, it doesn't matter the environment, we can then actually start to catapult our creativity and our caring so that we can actually create whatever purpose, desire, compassionate role that we want to serve in this world, because we come here self-realized, but the world outside of us has told us that we need to do something to show our value, show our worth, show our experience, to then from that place discover or create. But the fact is that we already know our dreams, our passions, our discoveries of self is already within us when we get here. But every kid has a dream. We're just big kids now, right? So, I'm the biggest kid in the planet probably, and the thing is that I'm using this planet as a major playground, because I see it as a divine playground, because I am not doing it for me, I'm doing it in service to the people that I love around me. And that means each and every one of you, that means the Lighthouse community, that means every person that I meet, I see as a reflection of my inner being. So that to me was a discovery that I had to find, because my parents always provided that level of value, of love, of care. And when the outside world told me that the economics was more value, or the money was more valuable, I didn't believe, and I refused to believe that. I refuse to believe that there's something that is way more valuable than a human life. The strength and the reverence of a presence of a human being has the infinite level of intelligence of heart's wisdom beating through the heart. And that is a level of communication that comes from something way more imaginative and ancient than any of us can actually understand. And so if we don't pay attention to these feelings, and if we don't follow the feelings, the movement, the dance, the play, the connection to our bodies, then we actually don't really understand what is being communicated. Because as Tony says, physiology is 53% of communication. So that's more than half of the communication that's coming through us, and more than half of people, most people are not listening to more than half of the communication that's coming through them. So they're not paying attention to the heartbeat or the body. And there's 40,000 neurons in the heart's brain that communicates through the body. This is somatic discovery of knowing and understanding there's a profound level of intelligence has always been available to us, but most people don't understand that connection because we're stuck in the head and we're dead. So this has allowed me to understand, traveling the world has allowed me to understand this and understand energy. And energy really is everything.
So have you always lived at home
No, I
with your
was married.
parents?
I was married, and I had a house, and I had the white picket fence, and I did everything the world had told me to do. But no, I had villas all over the world, and I have, like, when I was living off in the planet, yeah, I've had my own places, lots of them.
Okay. I think I don't know if this might be something for you. I don't remember the book's name, but I think you might be very interested in it. It talks about how the heart isn't just a muscle or just a pump or anything, but it's a vortex. I don't remember the book's name, but I think that might be something you could enjoy reading.
Thank you.
Sorry, I don't know the name, but I think you would enjoy
Well,
reading
I
it.
mean, this is something that I've been professing for a very long time, so I appreciate it. And the science of self-empowerment really cultivates an understanding that our heart's coherence and the communication of our heart's integrity by following and allowing that heartbeat to really guide us, and knowing that from that place we are always leading. That is when we use the mind as a tool. And so the
Yeah.
tool of our mind is a profound and very intellectual understanding and very important. However, it's the heart that leads. And if we allow that, most people don't understand that. They just like, oh, it's a pump. Like I heard another
Yeah, I
guy the
have
other.
the same belief as you. I
Yeah.
I always tell my clients the heart was created before the brain was created. So you had a heartbeat before the brain was created. And that's why I
Yep.
love, going into heart and brain coherence and the heart and energetics and about the magnetic fields, because that's all your heart. Yeah, and I would love to maybe, as a suggestion, like see you talk more about reverence, because that goes deeper than respect or honor. It's kind of all kind of tied together, but a lot of people don't understand what true reverence is. And you know, I think that's a very important part. I think what's his name? I think it's Gary speaks about this. He's written The Seed of the Soul and different books, but I think he talks about reverence as well. I think that's a really important thing to be brought out into the world, and just that topic alone can be create a beautiful wave in the world. I don't feel like I'm
I
the
agree.
person, to really speak about it. And I think because you have this passion about it, and I don't speak about reverence at all, actually. It's just that you brought it up. And I know it just goes so much deeper, because reverence is something you have, and respect, that's usually something people earn or you create or build. But reverence is something you either have it or you don't. And I think that's something, yeah, people can learn a lot about. And I don't think I'm the one to specifically speak about it. So when I saw that passion about it, I was like, maybe you should talk about this, because it's so important in the world. Creates such a beautiful wave of, maybe even a big wave of love.
I appreciate you, and I agree with you. Reverence is the ability to be present with each other. What we see in each other is the grace of reverence, right? And this is a very important understanding, because if we start listening to the reverence of what's being said through us, as us, uh, we start hearing something a lot more profound. So I appreciate you reflecting this. Thank you.
Yeah, I hope you do something with it. I think reverence is an important thing that not a lot of people, one, know what it is, and two, they don't understand like subtle distinctions, but it's an extremely important quality to embody and to have. It creates humanity, makes people more human. Yeah.
Action is everything.
Mm. So beautiful. Oh, I have news, by the way. since it's quiet. So I finished this beautiful, beautiful. I didn't finish the initial journal, Tennessee, the one that I actually need for myself, and I feel like a lot of other people need. But I created like I couldn't sleep, and then I created like I started like within an hour or 3 hours, like the content of 3 journals. It's based on your personal development journey, possibly self-sabotaging and like walking against the wall and figuring out who you are, presence, and just the love and connection with yourself, strengthening that. And I created like this 10-day intensive or a retreat kind of journal, which is like 5 introspective questions a day for 10 days. Then I created like a 30-day journal, which is like a journal prompt, like an introspective question, and then an action step each day for 30 days. And then I have like a 365, but because it's 365 days, that's a pretty thick book. Like if you have pages, you journal on as well. So I was thinking of splitting it up into like quarters. And then the one that's finished, completely finished, because actually 3 are finished, like the 365, it's a lot to like create the book, is a journal for men. And it's so beautiful. It's mostly for men. It could be for women as well, and children that are now adults that had grown up in environment that were unsafe, or where abuse was rather the norm than the exception, and things like that, or they had to grow up fast. And but it's especially, it was created with men in mind, because I see it a lot around me. They're actually emotionally unavailable, because there's so many beautiful men. I have so many great friends around me that are such beautiful human beings. I'm like, you deserve someone so nice. But then, they can't reach their heart some way, of I don't know, because either their youth, or they've been like one of my best friends has been like in a marriage for 16 years, and she was very narcissistic, and he got really burned by everything. And it was kind of created with that in mind, and it focuses on triggers and ego and projections and traumas, and really like in a very soft, I have written like an intro where I say like my name, just my first name. It's like Rain, and then but I don't include like a picture or anything that it's like created by a woman. But I think with the tone of voice, it's very soft and feminine, and yeah, just very soft spoken. So yeah, and now I just actually want to create a prototype, and I want to share it with actually men, but with people, maybe they can write like a review or something, but just get the feedback. Someone told me like, do you not want them to write the date on top? I was like, yeah, they can write it themselves, but like maybe I'll create like a section to write the date. But yeah, I'm really curious. It's really created to, I don't know, like, women, we need you men, and our kids need healthy masculine men. Like, we need you, and we need you like to protect and provide, and like that goes for the intangibles first, mentally and emotionally and energetically, spiritually. And we need our men, like we need them so much. So it was inspired by a lot of men around me that I just, I wish them such a beautiful woman and a wife in their life and family. But yeah,
I'm just
like
laughing.
Tennessee, you're laughing, but like, there's so many lovely friends I have. They have such
No, I'm
great
just thinking I
hearts.
can buy a number of them to be gifted to
Yeah,
some people.
and they do
I get a
everything
name
for
for you to send
everyone, but they're just,
something.
yeah,
Not just you.
yeah,
It's
they're amazing
more my
friends.
problem. But I think like, oh look, I was just just listening to you there the whole lot, and while you guys been talking, I'm just the whole entire time my heart is just
not fitting within my own body at the moment. Like it was just vibrating to a level that was actually quite uncomfortable physically. But it's not a bad thing. It's just vibrating so high that the body can't cope so much. But I was just like, while you were speaking there about, you need men to be like a healed, healthy, masculine, right? And then I'm just like seeing here, Eric, the amount of women that's around you today is just women. Well, and then Jacob came back, but then you see, look, they are such a great example of a balanced couple. Like how they're like, it's amazing to see. It's like, I look at them and then how like Jacob treats Gina, and he just it's how to say it, he talks to her in such a devotion way and everything else, and it's just how it should be. So we actually have a good example in our group of how it should be, as a couple, right in front of us, which is quite amazing. But I just feel like such a strong feminine energy today. Like in general, like, I mean, obviously it is super moon in Aries today, which is pretty intense. And it just, like on Saturday when I was doing work in the sacred site in Ireland, I had the moment that at some point the vision I was seeing was that my heart changed into literally what looks like a galaxy kind of thing, like it was this vision. And I'm like, okay, how am I going to fit that within my body now? It's just such an expansion of energy, so now every time I connect my body, I vibrate so much that it's really hard to be in my body, the frequency. But I just feel like today is a very powerful feminine energy going on here. So there is something there, to be acknowledged, I feel. And by the way, like, just the women I see here, like we all like, have strong feminine, but we also have strong masculine within us, so it's a lot more balanced. I feel like we need to acknowledge that too. That is just important that we see that. And it's like Rain, who's like the most gentle, soft-spoken person, but you have a power inside you. Like, it's like I don't feel like anybody should mess with you. That's like like, after spending a day with Rain, that was my conclusion. But it's like it's so much, like heart center, but at the same time, you have that
I
strength.
agree.
Yeah, but like
So-
you can't be soft feminine if you don't have the masculine container, because that masculine container are the boundaries, is the structure, creates the
Yes.
safety. And I can never be soft if I haven't created that strong masculine container for myself. But like I
Yes.
shared, is I'm actually masculine in my core. A lot of people are like, "What? You are the most softest, like feminine woman I know." Like,
Rain opened
how?
her thing saying, I'm very feminine. She was in this dress and high heel boots and everything else, right? I mean, super feminine, like in her talk. And then she opens up by saying, I know I look very feminine, but hey, my core is very masculine. And that was how she opened. Everybody was looking like, what is going on? Like, but I feel like the whole thing is, you just said that, we're able to have the masculine to we feel safe to be on our feminine. And then when you talk about when you talk about meeting somebody who's a man and that needs to be on his masculine, healthy, and all of this, is that like the whole idea is that we know we can make ourselves safe. We know we can we can make ourselves safe and provide and all of that, boundaries, everything, but the whole idea is encountering somebody that we trust to the same level that we trust ourselves, that we don't have to be. And that is a really hard thing to do, because we work on ourselves and we set our standards, and you're like, somebody needs to meet me at that level to allow me to feel safe enough that
Exactly.
safe, that person can hold the space for me,
So what is
it's
hard for you?
No, I said it's hard when the masculine, the problem is a lot of the masculine is very emotionally unavailable because obviously traumas and everything else. And it just means they're so wounded that they go into the feminine and they cannot hold the space. They don't have the strength needed from the masculine to hold the space, the containment for the feminine. You know, and
Yeah.
most of them, they get overwhelmed and run away. So that's basically what normally happens, right?
Yeah,
It's so
it's
good you saying that, because I always hate my masculine part of me. So
You hate
uh,
yourself.
it combines.
So I really would like to highlight the importance of loving that masculine side of ourselves, because otherwise, if you ladies didn't, you wouldn't be attracted to this space right now.
Mm.
So I am I am very masculine, and it also allows all of you to drop into your feminine in a very easy way. And so
Yeah.
it also, like, it's been my nature all my life to attract some of the most powerful women on the planet into my vicinity. And as a result, they get to like relax and be playful and like, because because it's easy.
I like the impersonation.
Because it's easy for me to play both experiences, because I have no so as a result, when I need to, and so this is the part that I encourage Eugenia, and I know that you other in Tennessee, and to love. I believe, by the way,
I love it.
Rain, I believe that you actually at your core are feminine. So, and the reason why is because I can see that you allow yourself to really be this graceful sweetness, because whenever you're on the call here, at least with me, anyways, you're very, very much in your feminine. And so I see that. And that's, you actually drop into your core, and all you really are seeking, from my hallucination, at least my observation, is just somebody that has a big enough of a masculine energy to be able to allow you to drop into that feminine. So this is my perspective on the way that I've observed you over the few times that we've connected.
Yeah, I get what you mean. And I think that's why people are really shocked when I say that. But I choose to be in my feminine energy. So usually if I take a test or whatever, I do it in different times of the year, different days, different times of day, because otherwise it's just the results are just from that very moment you're in. So, for instance, Tony Robbins has a masculine feminine test. I've taken that throughout the year, different times of the year, different days, different times of day, morning, night, evening, whatever. And I always come out with the core energy being masculine. And I do when I've had, like, for instance, a best friend. Most of my friends are male, and they love interacting with me, because a lot of times they're like, you're like a female version of me. You're such a male. Like, and I don't know if that has quite something to do with it, or if I'm explaining it right, but I'm very like solution oriented. Like, a woman want to talk about their feelings all the freaking time, and no shade to the woman, but it's like, I love, like, tell me what's going on. Yes, I want to listen to you. I want to acknowledge you, hear you, see you, feel you, but then let's find a solution. I'm very analytical. I'm very of researching, solution oriented, get to the point. What is the outcome? We're here for a reason. I can do one thing at a time. I can be cooking, and you could be at the dining room table, Eric, like talking to me. My food will burn because I can do one thing at a time. So, like, I'm very, like, I I need those those boundaries and those things, it doesn't mean that I can't choose to be in my feminine. And when I am with a very masculine and a really healthy masculine man, that's when my playful side comes out, because I'm actually only really playful with my daughter and my brother, who's 3 years my junior, and where I feel extremely like safe. And that's when my playful side comes out. There's not a lot of people that see that side of me. A lot of people treat me very proper and respectful and very like I'm up here somewhere, which thank you, but like I do also have like a playful side and a different side that a lot of people just don't seem to see in me or don't experience. And it's only people that are, I've had one friend that was very similar to me, and there's like, you have a very playful side and this and this and that. And I was like, yeah, like you see that, but people don't usually see that. Like, I don't know. I think the way sometimes people experience me or perceive me is different than how I feel. Like people think I know everyone and everyone knows me and I'm a social butterfly. But to me, Eric, I'm very introverted. I'd rather be at home and like be on the couch now that it's autumn with like tea or a hot cocoa, a book, listen to something, candles, and I just want to be at home. I don't want to be with people all the time. Like I can, but I've been around people a lot, like the speaking engagements and stuff, and now I just want to retreat. I just need like a few weeks or like 3-4 months to myself to just recuperate because I I don't know, it just takes some energy from me when I'm around people. And it could be like a pure energy or something that like needs to be divinely protected. I don't know. But that's kind of how I experience me. And I feel like that's been throughout my youth, even like at high school and stuff. It was always like, oh, she has everything and this and this and that. And I was like, you have no idea where I live and how my life is going. So yeah, I like the feminine side. Yes, I am feminine, and people are very shocked when I'm like, oh no, I'm actually in my core, I'm masculine. Because I thought it would have changed. So I took the test a few times again, but it always comes out the same, the Tony Robbins test from the feminine and masculine. But I choose to be in my feminine. Yeah,
Did you hear what you just said?
I choose to be in my feminine. Yeah.
I think
So,
just say Rain. Sorry, Eric.
no, go ahead, please. I think it'd be nice for you to reflect. Yeah.
I was just, well, one thing is just you said a few times, though, the Tony Robbins test came out as masculine and everything else, right? So number one thing is, when you're looking at this very, like all the works that you do, like, oh, exercise in this and this is very structured and it's very masculine energy, like it's the action to do and change yourself, right? So it is a masculine energy. So therefore, like most, like when you're answering those things, you are on that state of mind of action, doing, oh, let's change myself, whatever it is. But the thing is, you've been, as you said, you had some difficult life. You've been a single mother for a very long time, right? So your normal, so you have no choice but being masculine a lot of times because it's for you and your daughter, right? You have to provide, you have to work, you have to be structured for her, you have to set the boundaries, you have to be the mother and sometimes a father as well. And so it's a lot, like I know that myself. It's like you have to get things done. There's like no choice. You don't have somebody there doing for you. You have no choice but being on your masculine a lot of the time, because that's how you live in this world. You have to, right? Otherwise, how would you survive if you just sit and wait, for somebody to come and save you? No, that's not what's going to happen. But it doesn't mean that, in the core, you're masculine. It just means you have to be on your masculine a lot of times because of your reality, your word. It is how it is here, But I actually agree with Eric. I think you're very feminine in your core. And when you are feminine, really, you can see it. You can see the difference between a woman that's feminine, is not choose to be, you are. You know, it's like you see it, and you see women, like even on the event we were, you could see some women who were just really on their masculine, and you could see that they are on the masculine, and they were trying to choose to be on the feminine. They're trying to be on the feminine, but for them, they were a lot more on the masculine, and you could see it. I'm sure you can see it through. So, and it's just, and you said with certain people, you're able to just be this fun girl, because with those people, you feel safe enough to just be you and just be in your feminine and let go of all the guard. Because with them, you don't have to be the mother, you don't have to be, maybe you just become the sister or the daughter or whatever it is, and then you allow your whole body goes, okay, now I can be me. Okay. And that's what you're looking for, really, to have somebody that can provide that for you. So you don't have to be the rule and the boss of the house all the time and of everything. So you allow have these moments. So that's how I see, and how I feel, and I know, because also I'm a single mother as well. So I know how it is. Sometimes I'm just like, can I just not be this for a minute? 1 minute, I don't want to, I just want to be, so, but that's what I've been doing actually now. The days that Olivia's with her dad, I just be me, so allow that to happen as well. So that's my point of view. Doesn't have to be true for you, but that's how I feel and how you came across. But Eric could say something else, but
I think it's beautiful.
No.
You just
Yeah, I get what you mean, Tennessee. I mean, Tony talks about it more like some people are in their masculine because of trauma. I don't think necessarily that's true. That's why I tested it again, because I was like, maybe that's true. Maybe I am feminine. But when I really watch my actions and things and how I move and how I operate, like, what would I truly do? So when I'm taking the test, I'm not really thinking about it. I just feel what would feel comfortable for me. So if I would be
So
thinking about it.
can I make
Yeah.
an interruption? I'm going to interrupt you.
Yes. Yes.
You need to go dancing, okay? You need to go and like just allow yourself to go and play with the girls, and you need to allow yourself to listen to your feeling, because every time you keep going back to the Tony thing, you're putting yourself back into your head. And like Tony is some of his teachings are great. They're all great, by the way. The thing is we want to really keep you in your not keep you, remind you that you are this beautiful flower, okay? Because you are. And so allowing you to just be this playful, creative, artistic self around a group of women that will also be their artistic, playful selves will give you this embodiment and feeling that it's okay, that you're safe, that you have a group of women that will also have your back, that will also be around you, that will also support you. If you need to get into that masculine, you've got it, all right? But you don't need to. You don't need to. And you also have a group here. You have fucking a powerhouse man sitting right here that you can from across the planet can figure out a solution for you. So allow yourself to really tap into this feeling of knowing who you truly are, because you are able and you actually hold a place of femininity consistently, and you as well, Tennessee, because you can only see what you have, Tennessee, by the way. So I'm just helping you. So what you're beautifully expressing is also I'm not expressing this only to one person here. So I would love for you both ladies to just really tap into this trust, because it's okay. We've got each other's backs. I'm not going anywhere. The family's not going anywhere. The lighthouse is not going anywhere. We're going to figure it out, and we're going to all figure it out together. And it's okay. Like let's just trust that we get to play on this playground and we get to actually discover the greatest parts of ourselves, and we actually can shine from the inside out, not from the outside in. And there's nothing that we have to prove. There's nothing that we have to be. We just get to be ourselves, which is the most coolest thing. So I hope that gives you some insight and feeling of comfort and invitation to just allow this dance, this expression, this not needing to speak even anymore. Maybe that's like allowing yourself to go dance and just allow the feeling of your body to really communicate for you.
Like, what do you mean? Is it more like to embrace my feminine? Like, what? Oh, I don't understand quite the outcome.
You need to
Tennessee,
create.
please.
So you need to create movement, you know, like so
Great.
like so you think about the feminine, because sometimes there's a whole, like the one thing that popped in my head a lot as well here is that sometimes there's a lot of things that are actually very feminine that we think it's masculine, and the other way around as well, you know. So you also have to think about this as well, right? But you know, one thing is when you talk about, say, dance, for example, you know, the dance, when you're in dance, you're able to move your energy, but you also connect fully in your feminine. Like in that moment when you're doing the dance, you're just transforming and you're just there and you're just present. In that moment, you let go all, you know, like in that moment, you know, you just be you, and what is going to come out you is the feminine, and you just be, and you're allowing you out of your head and just in your body, and you're just feeling it and you're moving it and you're allowing it to flow the way it feels like and it's calling to. So you know, Mo was talking about the ecstatic dance, so I think that could really suit you because it's a total clean environment and it's all about going inside and connecting with your feminine energy, with your kundalini, and you just let it flow, right? That's like how, that's actually pretty amazing, and one thing I really miss here. You know, because in
Yeah.
Ireland it's very popular, but I, you know, it's something that I think it's so powerful. And hey, you know, I have friends who go consistent to these dances in Ireland, and they met a lot of men that are there, you know, they are
I'll
that same
definitely think
journey,
about
right?
it. Yeah. And
So
I'll
there's an
play
idea
with
that
everything as well. Thank
Don't
you.
think about it. Don't
Yeah.
think about it.
The
Less
thing is
thinking.
that
Just do it.
because I also really know that I'm very masculine in my core. That doesn't take away from my feminine energy because we have both. I feel like they're very imbalanced within me. So it's like the, you know, the light and the dark, or the yin and the yang. It's like you have both, and they need to be in balance. And I don't feel like, you know, like when you say like, oh, I saw a very masculine woman that tried to be feminine. I don't try to be feminine. I am feminine, but I am also masculine, and I am both. So when I tap into an energy, I embody that energy. That's why when I'm in my feminine, you might not see the masculine within me, but when I'm in my masculine, I can still be in a dress and high heels and have long hair and stuff like that, and still be in my masculine. It has nothing to do with how I look or you know, those type of things. It's just the way you operate from the inside out. That is my belief anyway.
Let
agree.
me, like yesterday I heard something, and it's funny enough that today I got a picture of something that from the Tony Robbins thing that just confirmed that as well, you know, around the masculine and feminine. So when you say, like, there is a difference between about being feminine and being able to tap into your masculine when you need to, and then being masculine and tapping into your feminine, right? So for us women, so the when we talk about, we say yin and yang and feminine, masculine, first of all, we think about it in a very duality and separated way. And that separation doesn't exist, it's an illusion, right?
But that's what I mean. You are
it's all
both.
about. And then when you think about, you know, being feminine, but being able to also have a strong masculine, for us women means, if we were thinking about a number, for example, you think maybe 70% of ourselves is feminine and then 30% masculine. And the other way around for the men, to be able to be healthy and have the strength, have the power to go forward things, but still being feminine. So I feel like you are like that. I feel like you have you don't see that your power, like a lot of your actual power that you think comes from the masculine, and it's not. Your power comes from like our spirituality. It's all feminine. The masculine
Oh,
is
I
our
don't think my power
right?
comes from the masculine though.
And you're just, I know you don't, but what I'm saying is you are super intuitive, and you're like, you're literally a channel. So like you literally, your whole being is like that, and it's beautiful, by the way. And you just have to see that your power, it's coming from a much higher source, number one, and number two is through the feminine energy that's coming down. So and that powers you. It's like it's beautiful, by the way. It's a beautiful energy, and for me, it's so beautiful to see when women are like that, still powerful, still have a business, still doing well, single mother, whatever it is, but at the same time still be, so I think that you need to recognize that in yourself, and and just honor that. It's just because I feel like you're a beautiful being, and it's so great to spend time with you and your daughter, and just see that, have that space, like it was just for my experience in seeing you, that's what I saw. But even
Thank
how
you.
you do business, you said, I connect with the person, I feel if that person works for me, if that thing is right for me, and masculine would say, does this make sense, is this business whatever, would not think that way, and you don't drive your business that way.
No,
So,
I know. I
ladies,
do honor both.
ladies,
Yeah.
I really love and appreciate both of your presence. It was really, really important today. I think a lot of people will learn from what we are discussing here. And I agree, we are all harmony in our energy. And the divine creator is both the balance of those energies, and so it's so important that we continue to embody that in a space of presence and reverence and connection and devotion, so that we can look after each other and take care of each other. And so I encourage Rain, for you to not think about it, to just go do it. It really will be something profound for yourself, and you'll probably discover a lot of great healthy masculine men there as well. So just something to be insightful about. And then you might meet your tribe. That might be something that by trusting is part of that feminine capacity to know that you can surrender. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow or the next day or the next day. And I'll be in Amsterdam soon. I'm certain, and maybe we'll all go for ecstatic dance. It'll be fun. Cool. So
And I
Alright.
just suggest today for everybody, write down your list of everything you want to let go, because this is the most powerful full moon we're having. So I wrote my list. Later on, I will burn it, basically at the full moon when the moon is out here.
beautiful.
So I feel like it's really, really good exercise for everybody to do. Just everything that no longer serves you, you need to let go.
Beautiful.
So that's
Thank
my
you for
suggestion.
I love it. Ladies, I have to run. It was amazing. Okay. Thank you for this. I think this is a great idea, and it's a very important part. So I look forward to doing that myself. And
Yay.
thank you. Big hugs.